Welcome back. You're listening to the Flow Friday Sports Show on Flow FM. Time to get the show on the road with a very happy Caitlin Vine. She's up and about, as are the Ouyen United Kangas. Watch out for them. Haven't they come from nowhere this season? Great to be back with you again, Caitlin. How are you? How are you feeling?
Well, you wouldn't read about it, would you?
I'm glad to hear that you're as stoked as I imagined you would be before we got on this conversation. What a win in the end. I mean, Caitlin, no one saw it coming. Let's be honest. The neutrals would not have predicted this, particularly after that little dip in form that we saw from the Ouyen United A-grade side, somewhat towards the end of the minor rounds. You wouldn't even remember that now, would you? Beating Mildura 43-48 in the prelim. Grand final time once again for the Ouyen Kangas. All that doubt, and yet here we are. You must be loving it.
Yeah, we are absolutely loving it. The girls and the wider Kanga Club are just absolutely stoked to have the girls in the grand final. We know that absolutely no one saw it coming, and Mildura certainly didn't expect us to play the way we did on Saturday. And I wouldn't say the girls surprised themselves as well, but they certainly put on their best netball and played some sensational sport. It was just incredible to watch. The crowd was just something else, and it wasn't just the Kanga crew. It was it felt like everyone that was there was cheering us on. So it was an absolutely sensational game. We just came out firing from the start. Stayed consistent, didn't panic. I know lots of people came up to me after the game and said, in the second quarter, you girls were down, and I thought it was over and done with then, but we had lots of faith in the girls. They had been practicing, what to do if they were a couple of goals down, and they executed it perfectly. So a 5-goal win, with some of our veterans being the best. Kyra Nathan, our coach, was absolutely exceptional in the centre. Tashani Burns turned on her usual finals efforts with multiple intercepts. Casey Crothers was also exceptional, and then our young guns as well were just, it was all around good netball, and we're absolutely stoked to have 3 teams heading into the grand final this weekend.
Take us back to the play-by-play there. So you're a few goals down at a really important part of the game. How did the turnaround come about?
We just made a couple of switch-ups to give a couple of people a bit of a rest, just settle the cray-cray a little bit, have a little look, see what's going on, and then swap the main team back on. So it seemed to settle us really well, having someone like Bree Barker come on in wing attack and just do her beautiful front cut, Mildura a little bit. And then Kate Lockett napped into wing defence for a couple of minutes just to, rattle everything a little bit down there. But it is something that we've really worked on this year, and the A grade have been able to execute it so well, is not to panic when you're a couple of goals down and to just chip away. They give us the ball every second go, so that's something we focused on as well, and anything after that was just a bonus.
It's just an amazing thing to see, Caitlin, because, again, written off. So, I mean, it goes to show, and it's a testament to the club for, the proof that we now have that you girls are obviously able to shut out outside noises, because going into this game, you must have been pretty nervous. But even though we said no pressure on the Kangas, but you must have been nervous knowing you're at the prelim stage, and Mildura being the side that they are was never going to be a walk in the park. So to be able to shut out these outside noises, it's a real testament to the character and to the discipline of the players, Caitlin.
Absolutely. I think the A-grade group is super level-headed, and it's something that they have worked on throughout the year. And I think it's what sets them apart from any other team. They have a lot of finals experience in that team, but there's also a few who have never played in a grand final. So I think they just balance each other out. And, I think they just immensely deserve this privilege on the weekend. And I think Wentworth is shaking in their boots.
It sounds like they might be. What were the scenes at full time with Mildura? They must have been shattered.
They were absolutely devastated. And it's not to say they didn't play a great game. They played some sensational netball, and it was definitely one of the toughest games the girls would have ever played. Ava Zato was absolutely sensational in defence. and also when she flicked into goals, I thought she was, just incredible. And that's why she was awarded MVP at the vote count this week. So she was really good for Mildura, but they were clearly, very devastated and cleared off pretty quickly after, unfortunately. So they would have thought that they would have had this spot in the grand final, I would think. But, obviously we're stoked to be there. And I think our 13s having a huge win earlier in the morning really set us up for that quality day. So smiles all around.
The other thing, Caitlin, before we move on, is that you must feel like you're sort of carrying the hopes of the town on your shoulders at the moment because, of course, the other the footballers not really having their best season at all. And you girls, despite what all the expectations were, which were that you probably wouldn't get there, particularly like I mentioned where, at one point in the season you looked almost down and out. Here you are in a grand final. It's like the whole of Ouyen is resting on your shoulders now.
I don't know about that, but I think, I've said many times before, our footy club really is the heart of our town and our community. And I think the way a sporting club measures their success probably shows sort of what club they are. And we don't measure our success based on winning necessarily or having teams in the grand final. I think our success this year has come from giving juniors a run in senior games, making sure everyone's had a go, providing opportunities for growth for all of our junior and senior girls and just having a home for people to go to. So, having teams in the grand final is an added bonus, and it is, even better to have some success in games when, the footy's struggled a little bit this year. But, I think our success, and we were successful right at the start before we even got this far.
All right, before we look at the grand final, any other news to come out of the club that you want to report at all? Yeah,
we've had some real success in the vote counts this year through the Sunraysia League. We had Letitia O'Shaughnessy take home best and fairest for the under-13s, Maddie Plant best and fairest for 17-2s, and Lucy O'Shaughnessy runners-up by 1 point. Lucy missed the first few games in 17-2, so if she'd played a full series, I think she would have absolutely, destroyed the vote count. But it was awesome to see those two girls do so well. And our legend, Kat Brown, polled third in the A grade and also scored herself a spot in the team of the year, with Kyra Nathan, our coach, also getting coach of the year. So lots and lots of success across our netball. It's just been an absolute whirlwind of a few weeks netball-wise. I feel like it's all we're doing, but God, it feels good.
It must, absolutely, and you should enjoy every second of it. Let's look at the game tomorrow, though, because here we are now with a grand final on the horizon, and again, no one expected it, but here you are. Wentworth and Ouyen going at it. Again, I guess the best part about this for the Ouyen Kangas is that lack of pressure element. You go in not as the favourites, so again, you just got to, just back up what you did last week. It's as easy as that, Caitlin.
Yeah, absolutely. There is, there's obviously a little bit of pressure, but the girls are just going in with no expectation. If they can play, anything like they've been playing the last few weeks, they'll be fine. I think the pressure and all eyes will be on Wentworth to see how they respond. They've had a few weeks off now, going straight through undefeated into the grand final. So I think it'll be kicking over in their head. We're just, really enjoying the vibes of this week, getting around each other and, just going in, see how we go.
Well, we wish Ouyen United and Wentworth the very best of luck. And thank you so much for speaking to us again, Caitlin Vine. Really appreciate your time. All the best tomorrow. Enjoy the festivities. And no matter what, it's been a fantastic season and a real season where it's been a real coming-of-age type of campaign, hasn't it? So all the very best with everything tomorrow. And thank you again.
Thanks so much. Go Kangas.